What up? It's Rich here, and did you start? Okay, did the stream start? Okay, stream started. What up? It's Rich here. I don't know if I got that first part, but we're doing something completely different today. Today there will be 3 different streams. Each stream will be broken up into different videos for anyone that wants to watch after. It'll always be on the channel forever and ever. Now, this first stream is not playing anything, actually. This first stream is a reaction to a creepypasta that was suggested by Cementarii, and we're just gonna listen to it and react to it. So before I start, updates. Pretty much all of this today is an update. I mean, I feel like I want to start doing more of this and not just every single live stream be a debate. You know, like a straight debate stream. As much as I love debate, I do want to do other things. Danielson, hey, what's going on? After all, this is a horror channel, so it's not a Dead by Daylight channel. All right. So I think we can get started. Danielson, I was at the beach and thought I missed stream. Definitely not. Stream started an hour later today. It's going to be for today's stream is actually going to be in total about 5 to 6 hours. It's going to be spashy. It's going to have this reaction. It's going to have a gameplay, basically live gameplay, and then it's going to have Dead at the end, Dead by Daylight at the end. Is this the new game Roblox? I don't want to spoil the new game yet. But you'll definitely see it, even if you stop by. I mean, there's a thumbnail for it, so you could even just look at the thumbnail when it comes up if you want. But it'll be on a new stream, a new video, so then that way that'll happen when that happens. Okay, I think we're good to start. This right now, though, we're just doing the reaction. So this reaction is to the things in the Backrooms creepypasta. And I've always wanted to do a reaction to one of these videos because I do listen to stories like this, more so the true stories, not the creepypastas. But and something I was thinking about is I wonder if I should, like, you know, bring in some darkness. Oh, that just lowers the quality though, but that's okay. I think that's okay because I got the first part in. So let's go ahead and start this creepypasta and get into it. Okay.
How many doors did you open today?
Oh.
What about in the last week, month, or year? What
know,
about
5,
your entire
10?
Lifetime? The answer to that is probably many.
Yes, I have opened a lot of doors.
Listening to this now,
Scotty, hey, what's going on?
Enough of them.
How you doing?
So,
thanks so much for stopping by. We're doing something completely different today.
Me, at any rate.
Reacting to a creepypasta at the moment. There's going to be 3 streams today.
About 5 months ago.
Hold that thought. We're going to be doing 3 streams today in case if you want to be here for a certain thing. I don't know, maybe not everybody likes creepypastas or whatever, so it's going to do 3 streams of a creepypasta and then a gameplay and then Dead at the end, Dead by Daylight at the end. Basically each stream should be about 2 hours.
It was a usual day. Wake up, go to work, be bored out of my mind.
Oh, I saw the announcement? Okay, cool.
It was a night. I worked the night shift at a small pawn shop, and the night passed at a glacial pace.
Oh?
That's usually good news, as
Is it?
I'd browse the internet on my phone. But my charger did that thing when you sleep, and it just bloody disconnects, leaving you with no battery to speak of.
Oh, that's always rough, man. You better get a new Apple cord.
I didn't notice until I got to work. Great. So, I was alone and bored out of my mind for some 10 hours. But
if your phone is dead at work or school, it's a wrap. Just send me home.
I came in as morning broke, so I left. On my way to the car, I stopped at a local mart and grabbed a couple of sandwiches and a water bottle.
Oh.
I was too lazy to make myself something to eat when I get home, so I figured I'd just wolf down the sandwiches and go to sleep.
Okay.
The commute was only 10 minutes long, and it passed in a blur, as I couldn't be bothered to pay attention to anything.
Oh?
My mind had melted under the boredom, to the point that I couldn't wait to get home and plug my phone in to watch some YouTube.
That's how that man was.
I pulled up in my driveway and went for the entrance, fumbling for my keys. When I finally found them, I opened the door and entered, still not paying attention to my surroundings.
Okay.
Had I been a little less negligent, had I looked inside before going in, My life would have been so different today.
Oh,
But
in a
I
good way or a
didn't.
bad way?
The door clicked shut behind me, and I made my way to the kitchen through the corridor.
It's a ghost!
I was also searching through my backpack for one of the sandwiches. I finally noticed something was off when I reached for the place where the table should have been, but I didn't bump into it. There was supposed to be a chair here for me to sit down and eat my meal.
Uh-oh,
But
homeboy's going crazy.
I looked up frantically and noticed the table was gone entirely, along with all of the furniture in my kitchen.
Hey, what's up, Nugget? Yes, Debita will be a later stream today. Basically doing reaction to this, and then a reaction to, or playing a game, doing a new game, and then doing a Debita stream. So it'll be coming later today, in about 4 hours from now.
Not a trace of them remained.
But welcome in.
I was dumbfounded, to say the least.
Good to see ya.
Did someone break in and steal everything while I was gone?
No, you're just going crazy,
Why?
man.
How? On a closer inspection, though, I realized it hadn't been thieves because the sink drain was gone, replaced by a smooth wall instead. No one could have done this in the 10 hours I was at work. And even if they could have, I couldn't fathom a reason for them to.
Yeah, you're going crazy.
Looking up, I saw the light bulb was gone as well. At that point, I started freaking out badly, because light still emanated from where I used to be. I grabbed my backpack and ran to the front door, hastily opening it. The street
Okay.
was gone.
Oh, well, where did it go?
In its place,
The hell?
only another empty room. I let out a yelp of surprise mixed with fear as I froze in the doorway.
This man's going crazy.
What the hell was going on?
You're going crazy. I mean,
My phone,
go to a psych
pulled
ward.
it
I don't...
out and prayed that it still had some battery, but I was out of luck. The thing was dead.
Well, go get a charger.
I took a few minutes to calm down and decide what to do. My breath smoothed out after a while, and I felt confident enough not to have a panic attack. So I closed my eyes and opened the door.
The whole street just disappeared. That's what I'm saying, man.
Still, a room instead of the street.
If I saw a whole street just disappeared, I'd just go to sleep. I wouldn't even try to be thinking about what's going on. I'd just go to sleep. I'd be like, yeah, I need to go to sleep.
Crap. I explored the rest of the house, hoping to find something.
Okay, let me adjust my level, Danielson, because if I'm too loud for it and it's too quiet, which it kind of is quiet on my end too, let me fix that. Thank you for telling me, though. Thank you for telling me. Hold on, 1 second. Okay. I turned it down. I turned my voice down, so just let me know if you're still going deaf. Just keep me updated real quick on the levels.
That would have helped me understand.
I appreciate that.
Every room was the same story. All the furniture was gone. The walls were uncharacteristically smooth and featureless, and the light bulbs were nowhere to be seen, even though there was plenty of light to go around. I had hoped against all odds that I'd find my landline phone in the living room, but I think you can guess how well that went.
You can find it?
I don't know how much time I spent curled up on the floor of the living room, just crying. And I don't know how much time I spent opening and closing the front door, hoping it would finally reveal the street to me.
Just go to sleep.
Many hours at any rate, until I finally gave up and decided to take a leap of faith. I entered the room the front door led to, closed it behind me, and opened the door again. Now my corridor was gone. Its place taken by a small room with a singular door on the other side.
This man's going crazy.
If someone would have been there with me, they could have pointed out the exact moment my soul shattered by the pop it made. But no one was there. I was all alone and lost in a twilight zone of empty rooms. I sat down, pulled my backpack from my lap,
Disneyland
and
or
took
what?
a sip of water. I didn't feel hungry yet, so I decided not to touch the sandwiches. With only 2 of them and a liter of water, I had to make them last. My mind went into survival mode, and I didn't know how long I'd be here or how to get out. I eventually decided to take a nap, as I was still tired from the night shift I'd been through.
It's about damn time.
I decided I'd have a better chance at figuring things out if I was rested. Sleep came swiftly.
Yeah, I bet it did.
It was fitful and as bland as the room I was in.
You have a nightmare?
I didn't dream at all, and I constantly woke up feeling paranoid, like someone or something was watching me.
Yeah.
The 5th time that happened, I jumped to my feet. The room was dark now. I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face. After I was done dropping bricks, I thought I'd died and was now in some sort of hell. But I walked around slowly and still found...
I feel like this guy the entire time is just in an asylum, and this is like all his thoughts that he's just thinking about. That's my bet so
the
far.
walls of the room in about the places I expected. It clicked in my head. It was night time. This place, wherever or whatever it was, kept track of the time outside. I huddled myself in one of the corners and waited for the light to return. That took a few hours, but with nothing to draw my attention and excite my senses, it felt like a small eternity. There was only me, the darkness, the sounds of my occasional breath, and the pulse of my heart pounding in my ears. I thought I'd go crazy, that I'd start to hallucinate any moment now. But then I noticed a small inkling of light emanating from the ceiling. Dawn was coming. The light slowly grew in intensity, mirroring the pace of a sunrise, but I didn't wait any longer. The moment I could see even past the vaguest of shapes, I got up and on the move. Despite the poor quality of my sleep, I felt rested and refreshed, so I started exploring. Door after door, room after room, all I found was more of the same. The walls were different colours, and the shapes of the rooms varied to mirror their purpose.
Did you find that phone charger though? I mean, like, I feel like that's number one priority.
A corridor once in a while. But other than that, they were all the same. For a split second, I felt like I was in a video game, and I'd entered an area that I wasn't supposed to.
Like the Stanley Parable game or whatever that is?
Out because no one was meant to enter it. Only this.
Because you definitely ain't playing Minecraft.
At one point, I got an idea. I kept finding windows, which, although they didn't show anything on the other side and were flush with the walls, I thought maybe would lead somewhere. So
Kevin,
I threw my water
what's
bottle
going on?
against one of them, hoping to shatter
Thanks for
it,
stopping in real quick.
but it bounced right off and rolled at my feet.
Just reacting to a creepypasta right now for the moment.
To room, only stopping at night.
We'll be playing a gameplay later and then doing a debit after that.
I made a few
just as a heads up.
Interesting discoveries, if you want to call them that, about how this place and my body worked now. Closing a door randomized the room on the other side.
This man's going crazy.
So you could walk in a circle without going in the same room twice. As soon as the door left your direct line of sight, even if you left it open, it would close on its own. This one I figured out after I had the bright idea of not closing any doors behind me, hoping I'd manage to figure out how big the place was. I didn't need sleep.
So the game is I'm not going to reveal it yet. I'm going to just have it be a surprise. But wait, you'll either see the thumbnail eventually, or you'll see the game actually pop up. It should be in about an hour and a half or so.
As I normally would. Despite a few days having passed at that point, I didn't feel tired, and I only slept through the first night I spent there. Same went for food and water. I didn't feel hungry or thirsty,
this man's
even
dead.
though I still had both sandwiches and the water bottle was missing only the few sips I took on the first day.
He's in purgatory.
That was either a curse or a blessing, depending on how you chose to look at it.
It's a good thing. I mean, who wants to be hungry and thirsty?
Out, but it had the potential of prolonging my suffering.
But then again, I would want to eat still. So maybe it actually is a bad thing, because me and Starbucks, that's my date place. And so if I can't eat there something, I'm not happy, because that means I'm not on a date.
Suffering immensely if I didn't.
I'm gonna guess Roblox.
To take it as a
I'll give it. It's not Roblox, but I will say, good guess.
And kept going.
Guessing Valorant. It's not Valorant either.
After room, day in.
I don't think you guys are ever
out.
gonna guess.
I think I opened more doors in that
hey, what's going on?
I would have in my entire life.
Welcome
otherwise.
in. No worries.
But
we're just reacting to the video. Thank you so much for the idea, by the way. Yep, I appreciate that.
Though, I wished I hadn't. The first thing that hit me as I entered another room was the
definitely not Fortnite.
Smell.
It
was stagnant and putrid, to the point that it made me retch.
Okay,
and my eyes water.
I feel like this man's either in heaven or hell. I don't know which one yet, or purgatory. Actually, I don't think he's in heaven. So he's in hell or purgatory. He's talking about smells, can't taste, can't drink. Yeah, he's definitely in some other dimension.
Adorning the floor.
Splitgate? No.
A pattern that led back to a common source.
But Scotty's definitely happening in about an hour and a half, I'd say, from now.
As my
for the gameplay.
Slow and uncertain. My gaze.
What's going on? What part are you at?
In the corner.
So I'm at the part where this guy's going crazy. He's talking about how he can't eat, can't drink, and he's just watching
husk,
or like trying to figure out what's going on.
Against the wall, and his hands beside its body. The trails led to its wrists, and I could see bone beneath the mummified skin.
And now he's seeing a creature.
Words were strewn on the wall behind it.
BRB. Okay,
the
Scotty.
same red colour as the trails on the floor.
Oh.
I backed up
He's in
slowly
hell.
as the realization hit me like a truck. This person, whoever he or
That's not a
she
person,
might have
man.
been, was like me at some point. Someone stuck in here that couldn't take it anymore and decided to end it all.
Not Apex.
That was their only way out, their only release. And I feared more and more each day that it would eventually be my only option as well. For hours, I fought back the urge to leave the room and shut the door behind me.
How about
reality
locking
of
the
what I was
door?
facing sunk deeper and deeper into my soul, bringing with it despair and a feeling of complete helplessness.
That's the place you're in, man.
Many
You're in
slaps
purgatory or
later,
hell.
I managed to snap myself out of it and approach the corpse to inspect it.
Why would you?
I thought that maybe they'd have something useful on them, though what exactly that would have been, I
Useful.
had no idea.
Oh.
Certainly no food or water, else they might not have taken their own life, and certainly not
He's
a
in the
map
back
that
rooms
led
out the
outside.
purgatory. I don't know,
else
Pip.
I'd
This
not have
man's
found them
talking
here
about
like
worlds
this.
disappearing. He's not hungry or thirsty anymore. This man is either in
Took
hell
my
or
mouth and
purgatory.
nose
I
out
don't
of
know
my
which one.
t-shirt And walked over to it slowly.
He is in another
The words behind
dimension.
it came into view as I got closer, and I could read them when I was a few steps away. Beware the dark. Don't follow the footsteps.
dark.
The eyes. Oh
The
God,
eyes.
the eyes. Make it stop.
Make it stop, mommy.
I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that was
Okay.
the gist of it. Short sentences with an ominous feeling to them.
Stream is lagging.
They certainly did a good job of making me feel like I drowned in dread.
Let me check. Let me check.
I tried to puzzle them together and draw some meaning from them, but I couldn't. What eyes? What footsteps? I'd been here for more than a week now, but besides the sounds I made myself, I didn't hear anything. I was still terrified reading it though. I
Okay.
kneeled down next to the corpse and started pulling on its clothes in search of pockets.
It looks to be okay
Really
for me, so
stressed
just try to
pretty
refresh
blandly.
and see if that
Jeans and a
helps. Usually a
t-shirt.
good refresh will
So I not
help
found
it. I'll keep
much.
it up, though, on my phone.
One of the front pockets
Just
of the
make sure.
jeans revealed a phone with no battery, and the back pocket revealed a wallet.
If it's Apex, I could probably carry.
A little
Unfortunately,
bit
it's
of
not
cash in
Apex.
A few bills and coins. But I decided not to even count it, let alone take it. But I found an ID and a driver's license and took those. I figured that
Why are you
if I
taking
ever
that
get
man's
out,
stuff?
the least I could do was turn these in and let their relatives know of their fate.
He's worried about turning
His
some
name
stuff in. He
was
doesn't even know where he's at.
An average-looking 25-year-old guy with dirty blonde hair and sparkling blue eyes. He didn't deserve his fate, and I didn't either. I found nothing else on him, so I decided to move on. Staying put wouldn't do me any good, and after finding Brandon's corpse, I felt a renewed sense of urgency.
Oh, now
The
you're
next few
worried.
days followed the same pattern as before, stopping only at nightfall. Before, I moved as long as I could see, but with Brandon's warning to beware the dark, I began stopping the moment the light started to fade.
Okay,
I
that's
was itching
actually
to
the
move,
first
to keep my mind occupied
smart
so
thing
it
that he's
wouldn't
done this
collapse
whole
in on
time.
me. But I was afraid. I didn't need to see any monsters on top of all I'd been through.
Yeah.
As the second week came and passed, I
Hey,
was
Scotty,
certain
welcome
I'd
back.
traveled for dozens of miles now.
This man's still
and
going
More
crazy.
or less in a straight line too.
Still making bad decisions.
I'd grown properly hungry in the meantime, so I ate one of the sandwiches and held on to the other one until
finally got
I'd literally
hungry.
be starving. I was also down to half a bottle of water, but
Ooh.
if my body kept it up at the same rate, these meager supplies would have lasted me a month or two.
Okay, so he's not in hell
That
then.
was unless
Or maybe he is, because maybe you still get hung. I don't, I'm acting like I've been there
As
yesterday.
entered
I
another
don't.
room, I saw someone huddled in a corner. Thinking it was a corpse,
Don't
I
go
approached
to it.
slowly, my
Okay.
nerves on their ends. It looked shriveled and malnourished. But
Pause.
I couldn't tell if it had been
7
dead for
kills?
long now.
Ooh.
Decomposition was probably affected the same way as my hunger and my thirst.
I feel like
which is
that's
why
pretty good.
My sandwich went stale, but was still edible.
I'm just comparing it to Warzone.
Then-
I don't.
She opened her eyes, looked at me with horror, and started to scream. I covered my ears to shield them from the loud screech.
Like
and it
Kate
took
on a hook?
Everything I had in me not to bolt it out of the door. She screamed for a solid 30 seconds before she stopped to gasp for air.
Damn, Kate
But I
can't
could
even do
see
that.
She was ready to do it again.
Uh-oh.
Stop that, I yelled. I won't hurt you.
Stop that.
She opened her eyes. and they were wide with surprise. A look of disbelief, and then of relief washed over her features, and she huddled down tighter.
Nope.
Help me,
No idea
please.
what game it is yet.
Oh God, if you're a real human, help me. I
Oh,
rushed over to her and kneeled down.
it's getting juicy.
She looked bad, but knowing she was still alive in her condition made it so much worse. Her face was scrawny, her skin pulled taut over her bones.
Uh-oh.
Her clothes looked a few sizes too big, hanging loosely on a frame. Her hair was disheveled.
I'm getting
dirty,
hag
and
vibes.
bunches of it had fallen off to reveal her bare scalp. What happened to you? I asked, although I probably knew the answer.
I don't.
Do you have anything to eat?
Oh,
Or some water? She asked.
some water.
I considered for a moment to lie and tell her no, but I couldn't have lived with myself if I did that. However long, I still had to live anyway.
Give us some
I
water.
opened my backpack and offered her the sandwich.
Sounds like
She
my
wolfed
sister.
it down in a
Damn,
few
Scotty,
seconds,
that's messed
and then
up.
licked the plastic wrap clean. Thank you so much, she said after
That's
she was
messed
done. I haven't eaten in months. I gave her the
Creepypasta
water bottle
voice,
too
though.
and told her to drink it slowly.
For real.
I
They always have,
was
like,
no
a
expert
whisper
in
to their voice.
malnutrition and starvation, but I knew that if the stomach is empty for a long time,
Mhm.
it's not a good idea to stuff it all of a sudden.
That's true, because then you throw
She,
up.
of course, didn't listen to me and drank the water in a few gulps.
Well, nothing you can do about
I
that.
couldn't really blame her though. I can't even imagine what it feels like to not eat or drink for months. We stood in silence for a while, as I allowed her to regain some composure. She eventually opened her mouth and started to talk, and to this day, I still regret
It's British
hearing her
accent.
words.
I knew it was some kind of European. I didn't know it was British, though.
Seen it yet?
Because
Yes.
sometimes I get confused
See
by the European
what?
accents.
I asked back. So,
Well, I find
you
that very
didn't
offensive.
travel through the
Scotty, you're the
dark
one
then?
that said it.
She continued. No, I haven't, I answered. I can't see anything, so when night comes, I stay put. Good, she said.
Should have charged that iPhone.
You didn't answer me though. See what? I asked again. I tried to get more out of her, but my attempts were met with failure. She didn't evade my questions. She outright shot them down and told me it was for my own good. Seeing
Okay.
that I didn't relent, however, she eventually told me something.
With a bottle of water.
You really are better off not knowing. Believe me. Just don't travel
It's
through
okay.
the
Make
dark,
fun of a SoCal
and you will
accent.
be safe.
Okay, YouTube, why are you saying I'm lagging?
Fine, I said.
We're not
accepting
even playing a
defeat.
game.
The terror in her voice was not hidden at all. It was laid thick on every word she spoke,
Yeah, I'll keep my eye on it.
so I didn't pester her further.
No
Still,
reception for
her
that iPhone.
questions
I mean,
and
all he
cryptic
needs is the
words felt
flashlight.
eerily familiar.
They're talking about how they're scared
Random
to
words written in
sneaky
blood
snake in the
came to
dark.
mind.
You know, if he
Beware
charged
the
that
dark.
iPhone.
I stayed by her side as the day passed and night settled, even though I was itching to get on the move again. I'd not seen another human or spoke to anyone in over 2 weeks, and although I thought I'd
Wait, you
never
just
miss
spoke to
it,
somebody.
that changed. I was starved for conversation, for interaction, and most importantly, for information. Her name was Vanessa. She was 25 years old
Ooh.
and had been living a
Ooh.
few towns over from me.
Okay.
One day, 3 months before I found her, she went
Mhm.
to the bathroom in her own apartment.
Okay.
Preoccupied with her phone, she
Okay.
didn't check on the room she entered. Only when the door was shut behind her and she was cut off from the world outside did she notice something was up. By
He could
then,
use a
it was
map.
too
Not gonna.
late.
Yeah,
She'd been
he.
trapped in here ever
I
since.
feel like he could use a medikit too. I mean, could
Her
never
story
go
sent
wrong with a
chills down my
medikit.
spine, as it was very similar to mine.
Probably has some spare water
in a
in it.
moment of distraction,
Depending on if it's a
she
purple
walked
one
through
or
a
a
door
brown
she'd
one.
opened countless times before.
You know that purple one's got
only
some
for it to
food.
lead her here.
They got the good snacks
The
too.
gears in my head started spinning as I
Fruit
began to
roll-up?
theorize the how and why.
Gushers,
I knew these
graham
rooms were
crackers,
copies
oh,
of real ones.
cookies.
That much was evident from day one, seeing as I'd entered my own house and thought someone had stolen all of my furniture, and I knew they
That
were
brown one's gonna
randomized
give you like a
upon closing
Nutella
the
bar or
doors.
something, or granola.
But where
bar.
was this place?
And not even in the
Outside of our
off-brand one too.
reality? Did we enter it because we weren't paying attention? Or was it something like quantum mechanics? where
Quantum
the contents
mechanics.
of the room weren't decided until they were observed. That I didn't know. It could have
Well, I
been
mean, he's
any
talking
one
about
of
other
them,
dimensions,
a
so it
combination
probably
of them,
has something
or
to do with
something
quantum
else
mechanics, to be
entirely.
honest.
Anyway, after me and Vanessa talked some more, she fell asleep. She was obviously weak, so I didn't wake her. I stood by her side as the light slowly dimmed, hoping she'd get enough strength back the next day to walk.
Well, you gave her half your water.
Didn't sleep. In fact, ever since I'd gotten here,
Tell her to get up.
I only slept that one time through the first night. The rest of them I spent awake, pondering my predicament and my life thus far. Tonight, I was glad to have someone next to me, even though all I could hear was her steady breathing. I wasn't alone anymore. About halfway through the night, I got up and paced around through the room for a bit to stretch my legs. I do this every night to stop my muscles from going stiff, but I never left the rooms I was in.
The backrooms don't work like that. They're billions of square kilometers of empty and random rooms. So you're basically in space, but in purgatory at the same time. Okay.
At one point I stopped, after maybe 10 minutes of walking in circles. I listened for Vanessa so I could return next to her, and it didn't take me long to pick up on her breathing. But before I could take a single step towards her, I heard footsteps. I stood as still as I could, listening, hoping my mind was only playing tricks on me. But it wasn't.
I knew that.
Although they were faint and sounded like they came from far away,
Someone's stalking you.
I could clearly make out every single step.
Yep, they're doing that
They were
snaky
slow,
snake.
with a few seconds between them.
But they're being
They
bad at
followed
it.
a steady rhythm. I turned to face the direction they seemed to come from and took a few steps of my own. Slow and careful. Not
Why
to
does
make a
this man
sound.
investigate everything? That's how you
I
get
inched
killed.
forward until my outstretched hand met the wood of the door.
Tier 1 Myers,
I
exactly.
leaned against it, pressing my ear in the wood.
And this man's going
and
up towards
heard
him.
the footsteps clearer. I hoped it would be another person.
This man sounds like a
I
Dwight.
hoped Vanessa and I would get another companion to help us out.
Hey.
But the more I listened, the more that hope was eroded away, until it was shattered entirely.
Oh,
The steps were too heavy for a normal human, too drawn out,
Bubba?
and besides that,
Whoa.
the room they seemed to come from wasn't decided yet.
Doesn't...
For
What?
all intents and purposes, I shouldn't have been able to hear them. The moment that realization hit me, Brandon's warnings and Vanessa's questions suddenly made sense. A deep sense of dread and fear took over me, and I made my way next to Vanessa without even taking a single breath.
Yeah, tell her to like, hey, we gotta go.
One heartbeat at a time, one footstep at a time.
We gotta go. Somebody's
because
stalking
They
us.
never went away. Not until light returned in full. At that point, I woke Vanessa up. She came to her senses slowly and noticed the change in my demeanor. Did you see it? Was the first thing she asked me.
Oh.
No, I answered. Did you hear the footsteps then?
Yep.
She continued with the questioning. Yes, I admitted, but I didn't follow them. We should be safe then, she said after a long pause.
We should be safe then. Oh yeah, the killer was
Vanessa
only
tried
like,
to
you
get
know,
up and
20
run,
meters away.
but
We're okay.
She couldn't. She was still too weak, and we both doubted a sandwich and a bit of water would change that.
Bro, you better carry
I
her.
helped her to her
Put her
feet
on one of
and
these
threw one of her
stretchers. I
arms
mean, like,
around
I
my
don't know if
shoulders,
this is the real
basically
backrooms, but I keep
dragging
seeing
her
these
along.
stretchers out in the hallway. Put her on one of those and just...
Don't have to, she said as we walked towards the door opposite of the footsteps I heard during the night. I'm not going by myself, I cut her short. If I spend another night awake by myself, I'll lose it. She didn't say anything else. Having been alone for the past months, she probably understood me. We
This creepypasta is good because it brings to life the concept of backrooms.
spent the next day in a straight
I don't think I would ever believe in backrooms if this is what it's like. But I could definitely see some
door after
like
door, hoping one of them
people
would
who
lead
are
us
more
outside.
open to paranormal stuff than I am.
It hadn't, of course, and by nightfall, we stopped once again. I sat Vanessa down in a corner and lay next to her. She lifted her right pant leg to reveal a shin, and I saw it was full of straight cuts in various...
What is backrooms? It seems like that's what this man is going through, is all these rooms that he's finding in like this paranormal place or the backrooms area, where it's like a universe full of random rooms which pretty much just contain horrors.
angles of healing.
Well, it's fictional? Yeah.
I didn't know what to make of them, but they looked
Or is it?
suspiciously like tally marks. With the nail of her thumb, she
Sure
cut
about that
another
bit?
line into her skin. She winced a bit, but
Multiverse
didn't
theory.
let out a sound. Seeing my confusion, she started explaining. I'm counting the days I've been here, she said. On your skin? I asked, unnerved by it. I've got nothing else, she said. We talked a bit more, mostly about our lives.
Oh,
She had
gonna ask
finished
her out
high
yet?
school, but didn't pursue higher education. That left her working at a restaurant as a waitress to make a living. There,
Not bad.
she met a man that would soon become a boyfriend, and then
Oh, she's
fiancé.
taken.
He was the son of the owner, but from what Vanessa told me, he worked with him whenever he was needed. He sounded like a swell guy, to be honest.
Oh,
Anyway, the two of them moved into an apartment by themselves a year prior, and they'd been happy together.
well, you better
Vanessa
take that
said
spot.
She could already see the rest of her life with him.
Backrooms is a place of billions of empty and random rooms. There are 3 levels, 0, 1, and 2. Ooh, so there's a whole concept to this.
Still, well,
Interesting.
this happened to her. I told her I was in a similar position to hers, working a dead-end job in order to scrape by. Only I'd wasted years of my
I will say though, then it kind of really sounds like hell, because you know how people say there's levels of hell, and I mean they're not running in heaven. I'll just put it that way.
life going to college, getting a degree that never led me anywhere. I still lived with my parents in our
So
small
negative.
suburban home, hoping to find someone to share my days with and maybe start a family. You can guess how well that went, I said, trying to pass it off as a joke. Vanessa managed to giggle, but could tell she didn't really taste my joke. I don't blame her, but I always found humour alleviates bad situations for me. We kept talking until the lights vanished almost completely, and we'd have done it even after that, probably all through the night.
Done it.
But something we heard stopped us.
Uh.
The footsteps.
The footsteps. Oh, the footsteps stopped your little freaky freak get on. You were gonna do some back massaging, and I am not talking about some healing. Oh man, they were gonna
They
get it on.
returned as the last rays were gone, seemingly closer than last night.
That man was jealous. He came in with the footsteps. That must have been Myers.
Listening in anticipation for what must have been hours. We huddled
The way to get into the backrooms is to enter an unrecognized room and close it behind you when a glitch in reality occurs, according to the subreddit.
closer together, bunching into one another for a fleeting sense of safety. The night eventually passed, and we were both still alive by the end of it. Scared out of our minds, but alive.
Hey, he's the one that said it.
We spent about 2 more months travelling together.
Him and
passing the
Vanessa
days
were
with
about to do
small talk,
something.
and the nights
something
fearing
sus.
for our lives. The footsteps got closer some nights, but if we kept quiet, they wouldn't approach us.
Oh,
We both got weaker by the day, withering away to hunger and thirst.
well,
But
better have a good
Vanessa
time. I mean,
was
if your
much
days are
worse off
ending.
than me. I didn't think someone could be that thin and still alive. And I
Eee.
think only a will to survive and see through this kept her alive at
Okay,
that
if she's
point.
looking like the hag, that is
We'd made very
that is
little
not
progress
right.
for a few days, and I guess we both knew that she didn't have long left. But
Damn,
I
that's sad.
refused to acknowledge it. One evening, as we stopped for the day, she was too weak to even talk with me. She
Damn.
went straight to sleep, which worried me, since I didn't need sleep once since I'd met her. When morning finally came, and she woke up, she kept uncharacteristically silent. I
Uh-oh.
waited half an hour for her to wake up fully before I suggested we get on the move again,
Yeah.
but she stopped me. Just leave me, she said
Yeah.
in a weak, sad voice. We both know I don't have much left, and I'm only slowing you down. No, I protested. This is not some movie. You're not doing some heroic sacrifice for me. She
It's-
didn't even fight me about it. Maybe she was too weak to, or
It's just reality setting in, man.
maybe she simply didn't care anymore, knowing we both meet our ends in here regardless.
I mean, you're going through hell. I mean, why wouldn't?
Fine. She accepted my decision after a while. But at least let me tell you the truth. God
Oh,
knows how much time I have left, and this might be my last chance to. I wanted to stop her, to contradict her and reassure her we'd make it eventually. But I listened. I was curious, but I didn't want to risk braving this place alone without knowing exactly what I'm in for.
Makes sense. Okay, now this man's
There's
actually
something
thinking
in
for
here
once.
with us,
Oh yeah,
she
Michael
said
Myers.
after a long
Okay.
pause.
They stopped you guys from getting it
I don't know
in.
exactly what it is, but it's hunting us down. If you move during the night, it picks up on you, I think. Then
Oh.
it will start circling the rooms in search of you,
Oh.
making those footsteps we've been hearing. If you make noise, or if you follow the footsteps, it can find you. Did you see it? I did.
I'll be honest, if that was me, I would find it. I would be like, hey, look, I need some, I can't just go by myself. I need somebody to talk to at all times of the day. So if I need, if I'm in a place like that, I'm making friends or dying, one or the other.
Did.
YOLO.
She admitted with a surprising calmness. When I first got here, actually, I ran around for a few days, even through the dark. One night I bumped into it, but I didn't get a good look at it. I ran away like hell, and I guess I lost it.
She
How
put on
did it
some
look?
jukey jukes.
I asked, even though I was sure I'd regret finding out. Tall, gaunt, spindly limbs, Vanessa said, and paused for a moment. Her sight got lost in empty space, and for a few heartbeats, I was sure she wasn't there with me anymore on a mental level. And those eyes, she eventually added, red and shining and... Tears formed around her eyes and flowed down her cheeks, but...
It's alright, Daniel, son. It should be over soon. I mean, it's only got 12 minutes left.
Her expression didn't change to reflect
It's getting
that.
juicy, though. It's getting towards the end. 360. She had sprint
Haunting?
burst.
I asked. She nodded her head.
Which survivor is it? I want to know.
I said, that's enough. I'm not sure I want to hear more.
Eat.
And I'm pretty sure it's not doing you.
Depressing. Hey, what's going on? Welcome into the new type of stream where we're doing a reaction to this creepypasta, and then we'll have a gameplay and then some debate later. But thanks so much for stopping by real
to
quick.
Try and remember more. She sheepishly nodded her head again.
How are you?
So we closed the subject.
How you doing?
We got on the move at a glacial pace, with breaks every other hour or so for her to catch her breath.
What's that say up there? Wait, what does this say? Oh, it probably just says
We got
exit.
on the
Never-
move at a glacial pace, with breaks every other hour or so for her to catch her breath. We mostly kept silent, with barely a few words exchanged between us. But I still appreciate
It's getting to
her
like a
presence.
Titanic type of situation.
I think another week or so passed, and Vanessa withered away visibly by the day.
But
It wasn't
how is
long
she still
before she couldn't
alive?
walk
It
anymore,
sounded like she was going to
and she
die
kept
that one day, and now
insisting
she
that I
like
either
just survived
leave her
another
or
week.
end her. But I didn't do either.
Sorry, it's like, it's alright, depressing, no
do
worries.
either. At least, not in the meantime.
I just
For as
appreciate
long
you
as I
being
was
here.
able, I'd carry her around on my back, which is exactly what I did.
That's
And even though she was more
very nice.
bone than flesh at that point, she still felt very heavy, a clear sign of my own degradation. We travelled less and less, starting up later and stopping sooner every day. Vanessa kept tallying the days on her skin until she ran out of room on her legs and had to move onto her forearms. Bored one evening, we counted the marks, and we found out
running
that
around
she'd
with a
been
ghost.
here for a little over 6 months.
possibly at this point.
At the rate I'm going, she said after a while, I have maybe another month left.
How do you go from...
She didn't bring it up again,
Okay.
but I knew from the look in her eyes that she was afraid. Despite her inhuman amount of resolve, she feared what another month in her condition would mean. So much pain, so much suffering, and although she never said it, I knew she was angry with me for refusing to end it for her.
Yeah, I mean, she
That
was just
night
about to
was
end.
the first time I slept as well.
She was just about to die. And then all of a sudden now she can last a week, and now she's lasting another month. What?
And I can't describe how good it felt. Escaping the hell I was in for even a few hours was a blessing. But unfortunately,
I don't know. Maybe he saved her with borrowed time. I don't know.
I didn't get to relish in it for too long.
She's tripping on
All
something.
of the stress, all
And
of
it's
the
not her
anxiety,
shoes.
and all of the worries had built up in me. They turned into nightmares and ruined my rest. I dreamt of Vanessa dying, of me crying over a lifeless body. My resolve continued to shatter. But then she opened her eyes and reached a skeletal arm out towards me.
Eee.
I tried to scream and back away from her,
Eee.
but you know how well that goes in dreams. I was paralyzed, the yells frozen in my throat, and she threw me to the ground effortlessly.
What?
Why didn't you kill me? she asked, climbing over me and wrapping her fingers around my throat. I couldn't answer, and I could in fact barely fight her. I thrashed around beneath her and tried to scream again and again, but I was only met with failure. The struggle didn't last for long. Fortunately, the real Vanessa woke me up, but I let out a single, loud screech as I came to and regained control of my body.
So he finally
all right.
fell asleep.
It's okay. You're okay, she whispered and covered my mouth. The silence that engulfed us was all too consuming that I heard the beating of my own heart in my ears. I kept quiet as the shock of the nightmare faded away, and Vanessa did the same.
Is it nighttime
not
now?
making a single sound. I could barely hear her breathing.
Yeah, she's about to
my
die.
senses adjusted.
We're just waiting for it at
I
this
heard
point.
something faint and distant.
Uh-oh.
Footsteps somewhere far away, and doors squeaking as they opened and closed. They got closer and closer, and I knew that the creature heard my screams.
Yep, he's on the way. He's coming through.
Time until he would reach us.
Spine chill. Look at your spine chill is activating.
I whispered to Vanessa. We'll be found. We can't outrun it, Vanessa said. And it'll hear us. It'll hear the doors. The footsteps got even closer, to the point I could tell them apart. The creature was only a few rooms away at best.
I'm out the window. I'm out the whole planet. I mean, wherever they're at, man, I'm just running. I'm either dying or running. If I ever am in a situation like this, I'm dying or surviving in the first day. I'm not dragging this out no 3 months. No. Everything's happening in one day.
We don't have a choice, I said as I got to my feet. Let's go. We'll figure something out.
I don't got time to die or survive. I'm picking one or the other and just moving on with life. Calling it a day.
I didn't wait.
We'll flip a coin. I mean, I don't
wait for Vanessa to answer. The footsteps were maybe 2 rooms away. We didn't have
can't outrun it, so that's what she said. The girl's she probably can't outrun it, but I feel like he
time
can.
To argue any longer. I took her hands and pulled her to her feet, getting her.
Yeah, we're pulling some Jeff Bezos and we're going to space, man. I mean,
on my back and taking off.
I'll scrap up the money.
I tried my best to move as quietly as
possible.
possible.
Start an OnlyFans. I don't know.
As soon as I opened the first door, the footsteps quickened behind us.
Hot tub stream.
The door to our room opened just as we.
I gotta figure out something.
And I heard a guttural scream from behind. That was
Go
all
fund
I
me
needed to convince me to throw all caution aside. I sped up, not quite running, but hurrying to the best of my abilities. I went at random, opening and closing all the doors in my wake, but the creature was onto us. I didn't have the strength to go any faster and lose it. It soon caught up to us, and I turned my head around in time to get a glimpse of it.
Just give it some snacks or something.
Me at the sight of its glowing eyes filled with malice, and I almost tripped right then and there, but kept going. And by some miracle, I stayed ahead of it for a little while longer. Leave me, Vanessa urged.
She said she saw it first night and managed to run away and lose it. Yeah, so.
I'm a gunner anyway.
Oh, but
I'll buy you some time to.
She's
get
dying.
away.
There's no way she's gonna outrun it now.
Hell.
But he should be able to.
Not an option.
Please don't give your viewers a free subscription to your OnlyFans. Hey, if I gotta pay money to pull a Jeff Bezos, I can't.
With no other route in sight, I could barely make out a door all the way up, and with the way I came from blocked by the creature, I started ascending.
Ooh, that sounds like a Bubba move.
I don't think I made it 5 steps before I tripped and was forced to continue on all 4s. Vanessa was barely hanging on to me, and I felt a grip around my throat loosen. Whether or not she was letting go intentionally, I'll never know.
This is just sad now.
Is as good as mine. At any rate, she didn't get to fall off my back. The creature caught up to us, bounding up the stairs like a crazed animal.
Ooh.
And it got its calloused hands around my ankle.
Ooh.
I tried to kick it away. To keep going.
Give it a bam.
In a single motion, it hurled me through the air and back down the stairs.
Oh, damn, like Superman?
Hard on my back, getting the air knocked out of me.
That's not good.
Vanessa crashing to the floor, somewhere to my right. Through the stars in my vision, I could vaguely make out a form in the murky darkness, and she was completely still.
Well, let's see her 3. Yeah,
I
for
yelled,
real.
crawling towards her. Just go, she yelled back. Get. Her words were cut short by the creature as it plowed into her. It picked her up off the ground so fast that its spindly body was just a blur of shadows and movement. I heard a loud thud as it pinned Vanessa against the wall, and I heard a gargle as she tried to scream.
I don't know. Maybe he
Her eyes
has
locked for
Deliverance
the
and she
final
has
time,
Unbreakable. Y'all
and
can make a
behind the
playoff
gaze,
bet.
I saw a terrifying calm, an acceptance of a fate that I didn't think possible. She mouthed, "Go," one final time.
Animated horror stories one day? I'd be down. I'd definitely be down to watch Llama Arts. I love Llama Arts. So
And her eyes left mine, moving to meet those of the creature.
I haven't actually checked Llama Arts channel in
I
a
didn't
long
want
time.
to.
Actually,
My
now I
heart
think about it.
screamed at me to stay, to help, to fight. But my tired, malnourished body fought me back, and I found myself turning around, limping away on all fours. As I reached the door and left the room, I heard a sickening sound of flesh and bone being torn apart as the creature let out squeals of satisfaction.
She got hooked up.
It won. It got its prey. I went as fast as I could, closing all the doors behind me, hoping that the rooms would get reshuffled and I'd be safe. More than once, I was tempted to either stop or outright turn around, because what was the point? But I kept going until my lungs burned and my soul felt raw. The human survival spirit is a hell of a thing. After Vanessa's death, I have no idea how much time passed. Days, weeks, a month.
Better start working on that
Even
generator then if you got all that time.
Hunger and dehydration were finally catching up to me, and I soon started resembling the state that Vanessa had been in during her final days. With my conscience lapsing in and out, spending more and more time sleeping each day, I picked a room and decided to just give up, to let myself die and end the night.
Pip, I would have end the story right there where she died and left the guy on a cliffhanger. Yeah.
Nightmare.
Do that. I kind of want to know the ending though.
Obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here telling you my story. One
Wouldn't be
fateful
here
evening,
telling his story.
as the lights in the room dimmed to almost nothing,
How did you upload this to YouTube? I mean,
the
do they
doors
have internet there?
two figures walked inside, shining flashlights in my face.
Oh.
I opened my crusted eyes slowly and tried to speak, but all that escaped my mouth was a throaty rasp. "Bloody hell, mate," one of the figures said in a thick British accent.
Bloody
"He's
hell.
still alive. Get him out." More people appeared behind the two, brandishing shotguns and fireman axes.
Ooh.
Two of them grabbed me by the feet and arms, hauling me up and carrying me along. I passed out on the way, but I was conscious for long enough to notice that
Let me
they
guess.
left every door open behind them.
This dude was in a
They
coma
also
the entire
threw
time.
thick steel rope as they went, which kept the doors from closing and shuffling. I made it out of the Backrooms 4 months after I entered, and I woke up in a small town in northern Alaska. Seeing as
What?
I am from West Virginia, I was quite a ways away from home. The local doctor defied odds in treating me, and his idea of keeping me in the Backrooms for another day
Rich was the monster the whole time.
and
Hey.
giving me liquids and glucose was quite smart. He feared that bringing me back outside to the real world would have caused my body to instantly collapse and die.
Eh?
I didn't get to meet my saviors. By the time I woke up, after a few days of non-stop sleeping, they were already gone.
Okay.
A pair of monster hunters named Damien, the British guy, and his apprentice named Miles. That's all I managed to get out of the locals. Men in Black arrived before long,
Oh,
and they
Men
made
in
up a
Black
story
now.
about me being kidnapped by human traffickers for unknown reasons.
For
Now we're
unknown
all on
reasons.
the same page, they contacted my family to let them know that I was alive.
Sounds like the reports I do at
Transport
work.
was arranged for me to return back home, and I made it without incident. But my life hasn't been the same since.
So I bet
For
you just went through a
starters, I
Titanic
removed
type of
all
situation.
the unnecessary doors in my home, and I replaced the rest with glass ones, so that I could always see what laid on the other side. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to share Brandon's and Vanessa's fates with their families, and not from lack of trying. Believe me, I did try. But from the day I got home, the Men in Black have been keeping me under surveillance.
Here
For how
come
long
the
they'll
Men
keep it
in
up,
Black.
I don't know. I'm not even sure who they work for, beyond the nebulous concept.
It's Will
that they're
Smith and the
part of
other
some
dude who
branch
I
of the
never know his
government.
name. It's alright.
Anyway, that's all I got.
Well, you got it.
I
Huh?
wish I had a better resolution, a happy ending, but I don't.
A happy ending. You
I'm a
survived. I
scarred
mean,
and traumatized shell of the person I used to be.
whenever I survive
And
around,
only
I'm
the
pretty damn
therapy
happy.
meds can fix me.
I'll throw a couple
And
tea
I'll
bags at the
forever
end
be
if I want. I
paranoid when
mean,
opening doors. I will never again in my life enter a room without checking.
And then I get
what's
killed
on
and
the
then
other
stay on stream
side
for an extra hour
first.
trying to win a game. So, you know. Ooh. Well. Okay. Let me over here. So, hopefully my sound levels are still okay, because I don't know how my voice is going to be compared to this. But so there is a follow-up video, and I did kind of want to see that. So let me. I should have had this one prepped, but I didn't have it prepped. So give me 1 second. But I think overall that story was not bad. They kind of lost me on the whole like, you know, like Backrooms part, where it's just like a different universe. Just because those things are a little like paranormal things are, you know. But it was still interesting. Still interesting. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Let me do that. Go here. And then once we watch the follow-up video, then we will be all good. We'll end this stream and then we'll move on to the gameplay. Interesting. Come on, find it. Live search. No. What the heck? What the heck? Bro. Why do you not have... Okay, really? You got... Okay, they're going to make me do it this difficult way. Okay, give me 1 second. 1 second. That. Go here. I should have had this second one ready. Well, I mean, this is my first time doing it, so, you know, I knew something was... It wasn't going to go perfect, but it's not bad. Okay. I even had some background music in there prepped. I mean... Okay, let me catch up on the chat though real quick before we start this next one. Let me see. Came right when it ended. It's all right. They just said basically, the dude made it out, and then the girl did. The girl got hooked up with Netflix. Actually, probably Disney, because I don't even know which one's the most popular anymore. But it's all right because she got hooked up, free subscription. She's watching the new iCarly. Waiting for me to react to some anime. That might be a little bit harder because that's probably copyrighted. But I'll try to figure out something. Mr. Nightmare over any scary storyteller besides Rich. Depressing A. I love Mr. Nightmare. First off, I love him. I'm not better than Mr. Nightmare. That's for damn sure. Maybe I did always want to try narrating a story on my channel though, as like a scare, like how they do. I almost made that. My channel is actually a scary story channel instead of the gameplays. It was like a good 60-40 on what I was gonna go with, but I do love Mr. Nightmare. It's true stories. My favorite thing for scary stories are true stories, straight to the point, and something kind of spicy. Nothing like, oh, I was stalked, and then I mean, you know, that's kind of scary, but I want something more, you know, because I've seen a lot of videos over the years. So it's fictional. It's not something some people genuinely believe in. It all originates from Reddit. Yeah, but that's kind of like the creepypastas in general. Some of them are really good. I have heard of some of them back in the day that were really good. But they kind of just lose me when it starts to get a little bit crazy. Is this the stream schedule from now on? Not really. It'll still always be 10 o'clock. Today was just later because I wanted to get everything prepped for today with the 3 different streams. Also, I missed yesterday, so I wanted to do something spicy for today. Unit 52, Mr. Nightmare, Creepypasta, Mr. Creepypasta. Yeah, I would say I've heard some of Unit 52s. I don't think I've heard of the other guys, but Mr. Nightmare is definitely my favorite. Over time, it gets harder to scare people. It does. You get more immune to it, and I've listened to a lot. I've listened to Mr. Nightmare for probably 3 to 4 years now. And then some of the other streamers, or not streamers, but people who make the horror channel, the horror stories. And so I've heard a lot of stories. But I still will get to me if it's like at night and I'm driving, because usually I'll listen to them at night when I'm driving, because I work at nights. That's why the streams are during the day. But when I listen to those at night, then it gets a little bit more creepy. I'm the opposite of you then. I like more psychological, paranormal things. So I'll say I still like paranormal things, but I guess stuff that's more believable. For example, my favorite things are the ones in the forest, where people see like creatures or things in the forest, which are true stories, or allegedly. And then like they go off that. I love that stuff. The stuff where it's like I was in another dimension, closed door, floating 3 feet in the air, like that's that's when it kind of loses me. But yeah, feel free, yeah, definitely, Pip. Send me some more stuff and I'll definitely keep that all in mind. Because I mean, to me this was kind of cool. I'm trying to mix it up. I'm not just trying to keep doing a constant spam with Debida. Trying to mix it up as much as possible. So we'll react to this video. It's only a 13-14 minutes, so we'll do that and then we'll move on to the spicy gameplay. So let me just this.
Our world truly is a terrifying place, and I don't think there's ever been a more relevant time in this channel's history to make a statement like that. But one of the things that
so this is supposed to be an explanation of the backrooms from what Pip told me.
Has always scared me the most about this world is when it glitches.
Okay, I feel like all this footage that he's using is copyrighted.
That plane looks like it's just hovering. It looks like a big one as well.
It's been a topic that I've briefly mentioned on my channel before, that every so often something will happen that breaks the rules of reality. Planes hovering and doppelgangers are two examples of this, and surely most would be at least a little creeped out by experiencing these. But what happens when these glitches get more serious? What happens when you glitch out of reality completely? Well, if this happens to you, you may find yourself in a place where no man should ever go, a never-ending prison of rooms that exists outside our world that's now your new home. And if it sounds scary, maybe you'll take comfort in knowing that at least you won't be alone.
At least you're not alone. Well, I mean, what am I gonna end up with Vanessa and she's gonna die while I'm trying to get it in, and Michael Myers is gonna stalk me and prevent me from that happening? I mean, what's gonna happen? Because that didn't sound like a fun time to me. Is this like a... Oh, okay, I was gonna say if it was like a...
The following
3D
picture was posted to 4chan that caught the attention of many. The picture was of what we now know as the Backrooms. Something about it, the emptiness, the tone, just gave people bad vibes.
Really? That looks like a nice place.
The photo was incredibly unsettling.
What? Put some furniture in there and you'll be alright.
A caption was added that claimed that the Backrooms go on for an impossible distance.
Okay, this is a video game now.
Looks the same. It is said that there are a few ways to wind up trapped in these backrooms. Some say that they can be accessed through your dreams, or even seen in visions. Because of this, many claim to recognize the picture, and even felt some sort of nostalgic fear when seeing it. But others claim that the only true way to get there is much more difficult, and it requires a tremendous amount of luck, or perhaps in this case, the exact opposite.
Okay.
It's theorized that every object we interact with in this world is clipped to our reality. So for example, when you bump into a wall, you collide with it, and you bounce off of it. But going back to glitches in our reality, it is said that, on occasion, objects within our world will no-clip. This is something that happens often in video games, where a part of the map becomes no-clipped, and you bump into it, you go right through it, and you sometimes end up falling right off the map. There, your player is stuck, still inside the game, but in an endless void beneath the map. In the real world, people believe that some objects can become no-clipped from reality.
If you want more of a theoretical explanation of topics like the shape of infinity or why horror games OST sound beautiful, generally interesting.
A wall will appear darker than the others around it, or you'll find
also
a door
SCP videos are cool.
There should be nothing.
Those ones I do like because they kind of have a story, and it's a game
too.
The
If you have a
SCP
keen
ones.
eye, you can notice these things.
One time way back in the day, sorry I keep pausing, but one time way back in the day, like in the Cry of Fear type days, I actually looked into the stories of
And avoid them
SCPs.
at all costs.
Pretty spicy
But
stuff.
not everyone is so lucky. For some, They unknowingly interact with these objects, likely thinking nothing of the implications that are soon to come. And much like a character in a video,
so you become a ghosty
if you
goo?
interact with a non-clipped object, you fall off the map. And one could imagine that it's incredibly confusing and terrifying to go from existing in one world to instantly being dropped into another, with nothing but millions of square miles of empty rooms on either side of you. But this is your reality now, and it's where your journey into the Backrooms begins.
Why would you go to... There said to be 3 levels of the Backrooms. Well, if you theoretically fell through somewhere, why would you end up in that spot? Like, why wouldn't you... If you're supposed to be falling through the map, does that mean they have this... Whoever set all this up has this Backrooms as a, hey, let's put something here in case someone glitches through our game, and then they can fall down right into the Backrooms. A lovely horror experience for everybody. Instead of just, making a thingy, that just puts them back to normal. If you have advanced technology to do all of this magical heebie-jeebie hocus pocus, whatever you want to call it, simulation, like we're the Sims 257 with the add-ons and extra feature content, whatever you want to call it, why can't you just grab somebody and put them back? Bah! I mean, no, we're going to make them go through hell instead because they glitched out the game. Okay.
Level 0 is a maze of monotone yellow rooms, each looking the same as the last,
Okay.
with only the slightest of variations. The carpet that covers the level is moist and creates a persisting scent.
Hey,
In the
maybe
beginning,
they
only
just washed the
sounds that can
carpet.
be heard is the consistent loud buzzing of the old fluorescent lights.
It kind
As
of
you
gives
walk
me
through the rooms.
kind of gives me like a Wall-E vibe. Like maybe it's like, oh, this is the world that we didn't finish building or something.
Start to realize how big the area actually
We just
is.
left.
Every room just leads to another and another. You start to wonder, how big of an area could this actually be? And how could this even be possible? Many will start to run and sprint through the rooms thinking that this might get them out of this maze faster. But it's no use. And after running around for seemingly an eternity, you'll finally realize that you're likely going to be stuck in here for a while. What exactly this place is not known, and that's part of the mystery of it all.
Look, I would just try to figure out some way, right? Take off my shoe or something. Take a shirt, wrap it around the wall, something. Scale the wall, punch through one of those lights, and see what's in the ceiling. If they got lights, there's a structure under... Come on, man. People, use some common sense. Very wise. I don't think I'm very wise. I just think...
Infinite maze of these
I just kind of like overanalyze things, which makes
like
it seem like...
would likely cause anyone to slowly lose their minds. It's believed that not many will survive this first level, and that's for a few reasons. Either they lose the will to carry on, or they encounter something.
Oh.
While walking through these rooms, you may find yourself encountering humanoid creatures.
It's videotaped on a potato. I can't tell what that is.
After walking for hours and maybe even days, just imagine the horror of turning.
I just got home on my laptop right now. Okay, cool.
Something standing there, something that isn't human.
If even if you jumped over to a laptop, this quality. Look down here. This says HD. This does not look HD to me. First of all, why does he look clipped too? This guy actually kind of looks clipped into the wall.
These creatures are known as hounds, and they look like disfigured humans who walk on all fours.
Ooh.
They make a low rumbling noise, which will
Snakey.
serve as one of the only indications that you're near them before it's too late. On this level, these creatures are supposedly incredibly dangerous. If you happen to notice one,
I'd kick that little in the face, man. Look at you're like probably 5'5". Man, give him a good kick right in the face.
Slowly back.
Everybody panicking. Meanwhile, Rich doing his calculations. Hey, I'm just saying, if I'm in ever one of these situations, maybe that's why like this stuff never happens to me. But if I'm ever in one of these situations, I'm finding out answers right away. I'm not like slowly investigating. I'm not running or like, well, actually, I probably am running away because screw that. Because 9 times out of 10, it's going to probably be a serial killer. Maybe a serial killer crouched like that in the corner. I don't know. But if it was something I knew that was like paranormal, I don't know. maybe like I actually saw the creature and it was like a creature, I'd talk to it. I'd be like, hey, I want to know the answer. Are there paranormal things in life? Tell me. I will stand here and wait. What are you going to do? And then if he charges at me and kills me, hey, at least I got my answer. So.
Away in the opposite direction. And whatever you do, don't look at it.
Don't look at it. I'm going to be the first one to look at it.
Encounters with these creatures.
Unless it's a serial killer. Because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a serial killer acting on some kind of drugs or something. I'm just saying.
Never-ending maze. Then you may have a chance at escaping this level. Every so often, as you walk through these identical rooms, you'll find a wall that is slightly darker than the others. Ooh. This is an indication that this too has been no-clipped, and it's possible that running into this wall will take you back to the world you knew before, and there you'll be able to continue living your normal life.
This sounds like a damn video game. Like I gotta crouch in the corner, 360, run off a cliff, jump, and then I'm through the map. I mean,
and no clipping again.
This is reminding me of Halo 2 vibes.
Runs the risk of taking you further down to a spot that no one has ever seen before, where the beings are much, much more hostile. Also, interacting with a wall like this could take you back to the start of level 0, where you'll have to start your journey all over again, which means another cycle of repetitive torture.
But who's getting these theories?
This is obviously a gamble, and one that many would choose not to take.
Somebody would have had to live through this, and then
the transition from level 0 to 1 takes place. Some believe that you stumble upon a door, a hallway, a staircase, or even an elevator, which takes you to this next level, while others believe the scenery around you subtly starts to change, until eventually you are in a completely different space. Believers of this theory state that after roughly 4 days of traveling, the bright yellow fluorescent lights begin to flicker until the
Airports,
space
hey,
around
what's up?
darker.
We're just finishing off this
eventually
kind of reaction thing to the Backrooms story, and then we'll be jumping over to a gameplay. But thanks so much for stopping in. Appreciate you being here.
It gets pitch black.
Said it's all fictional, no one experienced it. Oh, well, this man is making it seem like this is actually legitimate. I'm just saying. Sorry if I'm going crazy. I just have to disprove stuff that just doesn't make sense. That's just me. This is the most random thing I've ever heard. Yeah, kinda.
Before.
Ooh, we're at level 1 now. It seems like a video game.
In a seemingly endless loop.
I feel like whoever made this, they were like, hey, I really want to make this as a video game, so I'm going to explain this and say it's real. And somebody make a video game out of this. Because I want to play it.
No longer is there a yellow wallpaper, but instead
did we die in this? Probably. If you're going through something like this, you're not alive. I mean, I'm just saying, this is
carpet of the one before it. Much like the walls,
this has got to be like purgatory or hell.
Concrete. A deep rumbling of machinery can be heard throughout this entire floor, as well as the creaking noises coming from unseen rooms. The hum of the fluorescent lights is still there, but it's greatly masked by the other noises. And in this floor, the lights are known to fail quite often. The lights will
How can we die?
In many spots and will often shut off completely.
What do you mean airports? I'm a little confused.
Complete and total darkness. This is when the creatures on this level come out. You won't be able to see them, but you'll know when they're close. These creatures emit a disturbing, distorted, screaming sound as they drift through the darkness. If you hear them, quickly navigate to another room further away from the noises. And much like the level before, try not to look in the direction
Hey, it's Steven!
Things, because you never know how
he got buffed up a little bit.
Part of what made level 0 so scary was the isolation of it all. The idea that it is only you and just a few other creatures within this labyrinth of walls.
I mean, this sounds like the Minotaur, the classic Minotaur story.
Level 1, except it's amplified by random bouts of darkness and a greater number of hostile beings. And things only get amplified more as we head to level 2. The final level we'll be discussing today.
Okay, what's the final level? Give me the final level, man.
As you walk through level 1, the walls around you will begin to change. The vast rooms will become narrowed.
It sounds like he's giving a guide. It sounds like this is a video game and he's giving you a guide of how to beat it.
To the point where you're walking.
Dude, I'm gonna go AFK. Okay. No worries. We're almost done with this. It's only 4 more minutes. We'll end this stream
becomes even louder,
and move on to the gameplay.
And the heat from them causes the temperature to soar over 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's how hot it is right here, right now. I feel like it. I'm sweating.
Resemble service tunnels, as there is piping and machinery lining the walls.
Gonna take a shower. Okay, no worries.
You encounter on this floor is hostile.
That kind of looks like Spirit a little bit. She got the little.
You see a figure is to run the opposite way, and don't look back. To many, this is considered to be the final level of the Backrooms. It's a fairly unexplored and mysterious place that features no real exit points. Your chances of ever escaping the Backrooms in general is incredibly low, but your chances of escaping level 2 is apparently nearly impossible.
So why try? What's the point of going through all these levels if level 2 is apparently impossible? That doesn't make any sense. No, please not yet. Don't worry, airports. It's still a little bit of ways away, so hopefully that gives you enough time. I thought that said a Spirit A. That's what I thought.
Simply accepting the situation, remaining totally.
If I can see Spirit, let me go there. Let me go to these back rooms somehow. Let me try to glitch through that wall over there.
And if it doesn't work, then your fate is pretty much sealed. And even after all the pain and the wear that you've gone through, I'm
gonna try to glitch through that wall right behind me in a minute. It's a corner, so maybe that little corner right there, I'm gonna try to glitch through it. Is it real? Yes, please tell me if this is real.
The Backrooms are something that genuinely creep me out, and that's something that isn't always easy to do. The psychological horrors of traversing such a vast and terrifying landscape out of the reach of reality.
I will say, it's only scary if you believe in it. I feel like a lot of the paranormal stuff, people get affected by it if it's for story-wise, if they believe in it. If you don't believe in it, it's hard to get scared off of it, unless you actually experience something like that.
Is a horrifying thought, but is there actually any truth to this? Are the Backrooms actually real? Well, it appears that this is all just another creepypasta. It is such a fascinating concept to me, and the story involved with it is scary even knowing full well that this is likely total fiction. The very idea of the Backrooms speaks to the very essence of the things that terrify us the most.
My bad. I was giving up a little bit of
the fear of being trapped,
salt
and the fear
for trying to make it seem real.
Being watched and hunted. Psychologically, it checks all the boxes for me. But it's also worth noting that there are still those
I'm still going to try to record it though.
Who've actually been there. They see it in their dreams and stay trapped there till they wake up.
If you have dreams, it could be anything. You could be a unicorn in your dream. I mean,
it's real. Now, a nightmare like that is extremely possible to have. So perhaps
Pip, I know, but they were not giving me that impression. They were making it. I don't know. Maybe they used clickbait or something. I don't know.
Recognizable to me. Despite the fact that I've never even heard the story.
Calling that is not Kate.
It's really something that I can't explain.
If you see something like that in real life, just run the other way.
So nostalgic to me. So who knows? Maybe I've been.
Because that is some man on some drugs.
Too. But real or fake, out of all the horrors out there, there are few fates worse than finding yourself in the Backrooms.
Ooh. Okay. Well. Let's go back here. Okay. So, I mean, I think that was fun. This was something new. This was something that I thought was actually really cool. And thank you, Pip, for suggesting it. I'm down to definitely do more of these reaction like that. Again, I don't want to only be a Debida channel. As much as I love Debida and getting hooked by Bubba in the basement. I feel like this is pretty cool. So now we'll go ahead and end this. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to go into the back rooms real quick. Wait, let me do this. Here we go. Okay, what happened to my music? Oh, it's just... Okay, there we go. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to go back there in that corner. I'm going to try to glitch through the wall. Okay? But besides from that, we're going to move on after to the gameplay. So I'll be ending this video or live stream. And then moving on to that. So that way on my channel, it's actually a different thing. Plus I got a new thumbnail and all that. So I'll just catch up with chat real quick. And then I'll try to glitch out. Glitch out of the real world. I'm just able to control a dream. That's a lucid dream. Just react to a very short creepypasta called Masterpiece. It's only 4 minutes, but it's a classic that's very quick to the pace. Do me a favor though. Let me react to that on another one because I want to move on to the gameplay. You can for real do anything, and yes, I mean literally anything. I don't know, my dog. Users preppers to go in full speed. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Pip. I want to save it. Do me a favor. Give me multiple. Give me, you know, because it's 4 minutes, so maybe you can add on a couple, and then we can do something like this again. Because I do like having like some stuff to react to. Okay. Should have done more. See on the other side. Okay, sounds good. Say this creepypasta is your style. I mean, yeah, just send me a whole bunch more because I want to be able to do stuff like this. But let me try to glitch out. Let's try this, shall we? All right. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Okay. We have good. Okay. How do you say to do it? Just like you try to go through it. All right, the backrooms aren't real. I just scraped my arm. All right. Well, that's the conclusion we got from this. My arm, man. Well, would you look at that? Wait, ashy elbow. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but well, that's nice. There's proof that the backrooms are not real. Okay, guys, so we can all go to sleep tonight. I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully you're there for the next stream or the gameplay / stream, whatever it is, and I'll see you in a bit.